Hello, everybody. Welcome back to CJ's Card Corner. Today, I want to talk about prospects. I want to talk specifically about baseball prospects and who I'm putting my money on. So let's start off right away with some of the easiest ones. So there's a few that are, you can't say sure bets because there are no sure things in baseball. But when it comes to a prospect who has the pedigree, the draft status, the team, the talent, all of the above. These are the guys that I think are the easiest place to put your money where there's a better chance that you're not going to lose it. Let's start with the easiest one of all of them, Connor Griffin. He looks like the real deal. The Pirates manager recently just came out and said that there's a relatively good chance that he may not make the roster coming out of spring training, and that's okay. I think that his cards are only going to continue to go up, and they are already really hot. You're putting a lot of money into them right now if you buy them now. I mean, his base Bowman first refractor is $80 now. And you can't buy his Bowman first autos, I don't think, under 500 anymore. So everybody wants him. He's one of the hottest players in the league, and he hasn't even played in the majors yet. He only has one season of pro ball under his belt, guys. But he looks like the real deal, 5 tools, and looks like he's got all the talent to be the guy. So if you're going to put your money anywhere, that's probably one of the safest bets you can do. The other two that I'm currently pretty comfortable putting my money on are Kevin McGonigal in Detroit and Walker Jenkins in Minnesota. Both of those guys look like, again, the real deal. I prefer Walker Jenkins, but McGonigal is going to be a really great player in the league, I think. And I personally, putting your money on either of those guys, I don't think you can go wrong. But today, I don't want to talk about the guys that everybody's talking about. I'd prefer to talk about some of the guys that are in the new Bowman draft class that are they're still expensive, but in regards to long-term holds and investments, I think they're the better bets because they're not super up there in price right now compared to what some of these other guys that are probably going to be in the majors this year look like. I'm buying Cade Anderson in Seattle. I think this kid is the real deal. I would argue that he's probably on my top 5 list of pitchers in the minor leagues, and there is somewhat of a chance that he could debut in the major leagues this year. I find that hard to believe, but with pitchers, you just never know. His stuff is so nasty, and he looks like the real deal for Seattle, and I'm buying him whenever I can get my hands on him. Another pitcher that I'm always shopping for is Andrew Painter in Philadelphia. He personally has been in the minors for a few years. His Bowman first is in, I believe, 2021 or 2. He's been around the block. He had Tommy John surgery, but he was widely considered the best pitching prospect in baseball until Paul Skeens came on the scene. And I have a ton of Andrew Painter. I'm buying him all over the place. He should make the roster this year at some point. Another pitcher that I'm buying in right now is Seth Hernandez of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I know that this is kind of Pirates heavy so far, but I think that he's got a really, really bright future for the Pirates as like their number 3 right behind Skeens and Bubba Chandler. I'm excited for what they can do in Pittsburgh, and I think that he's just got really good stuff, and I think he's going to really show off in the minor leagues this year and end up getting called up probably in 2027. I know his cards are kind of pricey, just like Cade Anderson's, but I think they're still a really good buy. I'm buying a lot of Kalen Culpepper. I am really excited about what he can provide the Twins. I think that he's going to end up taking Brooks Lee's job or being moved to the outfield at some point. And I personally think that he's got the ability to potentially hit 30 home runs and steal 30 bases. I think he's really, really talented, and I think he's got a bright future for Minnesota ahead. And he'll slot right there with Walker Jenkins, who I'm a huge fan of. With the Twins, I think they're going to struggle this year, and there's a good chance they trade away Byron Buxton and Joe Ryan before the All-Star break. And if they do that, they're not going to have anybody else, so they're going to have to call these guys up to get them some at-bats and get some pitchers in there. And I think we're going to see some young talent come out of that minor league system, even if maybe they're not quite ready. But I think Culpepper is going to be a solid player for the Twins for the future. There's a few other prospects that I'm buying into right now that I'm not going all in on, but I do think that they have a bright future ahead of them. I'm buying into Alfredo Dunno in Cincinnati, Ryan Waldschmidt in Arizona. I'm buying into Gage Jump in Sacramento. And then the other big one that I've been in on a while is Travis Sikora in Washington. He just had Tommy John last year. But all four of those guys are really bright talents, and I think that they have a bright future. And I think that they're easy buys. Again, maybe not as high profile as some of these other guys, but I really like those guys. Those guys are in the top 100 list, and I think that they're all really good buys. In regards to established players and potential rookies this year and next, I'm looking at guys like Luke Keeschel in Minnesota. That's a really big one. I like Roman Anthony, like most people. I don't think that's a surprise. And then I think that Dylan Cruz, those three guys are easy buys for me. I think Dylan Cruz is going to have a big year and really come out of his shell this year. He had a rough year last year, and his cards are relatively cheap. I mean, his rookie autos are way lower than they should be, at least compared to some of the other players from that class. Same with Keeschel. I think he might be the face of the Twins franchise by the end of the season. And his rookie tops chrome autos are like $100. So I'd be buying into those guys. For established players that have been around for a while, or at least a couple years, I'm buying Wyatt Langford a lot. I think he's going to have a 30-30 season this year, and I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a 5-tool player with the chance to hit 40 home runs. He just has all the intangibles to do all the right things. And then the biggest one that I'm buying a lot of right now is Yordan Alvarez. His cards are super undervalued, and I personally think he's going to have a huge year. He's finally healthy. Hopefully he won't have another freak accident where they misdiagnose him and he's on the shelf the whole year. I think he's going to have a big year. I'm excited for his future. He's still really young, might have the best batting eye in baseball, and he should bat 300. He should have an OBP of 400, should hit 30 home runs, with the ability to hit for more. So those are the guys that I'm really looking at this year. They're the ones I'm most excited about. They're who I'm putting my money behind. Who are you looking at? Who are you shopping for? Am I wrong about these guys? I'd love to hear it. Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.